Newly appointed Indian High Commissioner to Dhaka, Dinesh Trivedi, on Monday met the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Tarique Rahman in what was described by India and Bangladesh as a courtesy call, a meeting that comes in the wake of the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, addressing media persons at an event held in New Delhi on August 5, and somewhat uneasy developments between India and Bangladesh, despite efforts by both sides to improve the ties between them. Now, the Indian High Commissioner Dinesh Trivedi met the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Tarique Rahman, in a meeting where the Foreign Minister Khalilur Rahman, advisor to the Bangladeshi PM Humayun Kabir, and diplomats from the Indian High Commission in Dhaka were also present. Issuing a statement on the development, the Indian High Commission in Dhaka said that the two leaders discussed issues of mutual interest and avenues to strengthen bilateral ties between India and Bangladesh. And the Indian High Commissioner Dinesh Trivedi conveyed to the Bangladeshi Prime Minister greetings from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and India's intent to work with the government and the people of Bangladesh with a positive, constructive and a forward-looking approach. While Bangladesh has also termed the meeting as a courtesy call, it was a statement issued by the Bangladeshi Foreign Minister Khalilur Rahman which shed light on how the Bangladeshi side views the meeting. In fact, asked about the meeting by media persons in Dhaka, Khalilur Rahman told media persons that Bangladesh had raised with India the issue of the extradition of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who continues to be in Delhi, and the issue of the return of the suspects of the killing of the Inqilab Moncho spokesperson Osman Hadi, who was gunned down in Bangladesh last year. Khalilur Rahman said that Bangladesh had asked India to expedite the request from Bangladesh for the extradition of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and that Bangladesh had also shared with India the documents requested by the latter in connection with the suspects of the killing of Osman Hadi. When asked about the event held at the Foreign Correspondent Clubs of South Asia in New Delhi on August 5, where former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had addressed media persons, Khalilur Rahman said that Bangladesh had conveyed its clear position to India and that India understands Bangladesh's position and that he somewhat reassured that such an incident would not be repeated. However, the biggest takeaway from the statement made by Khalilur Rahman was what he said about whether Tarique Rahman would visit India for the BRICS summit. It is important to be noted that India has invited the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Tarique Rahman to attend one of the outreach sessions of the BRICS summit in his capacity as the chair of the BIMSTEC. Now, responding to this question, Khalilur Rahman said that he was not an astrologer and that he couldn't say what would happen on that day. He further commented that the invitation extended to the Bangladeshi Prime Minister was in his capacity as the BIMSTEC chair and not as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. However, he went on to confirm that the Bangladeshi Prime Minister had received two invitations from India. One was from the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where Modi had invited the Bangladeshi Prime Minister to pay a visit to India, and the second was for attending the BRICS summit that is scheduled to happen in September 2026. It is significant to be noted that after there was a lot of discussion over the invitation that has been extended to the Bangladeshi Prime Minister in his capacity as the BIMSTEC chair for attending the BRICS summit, India has already clarified that there are several other leaders who have been invited in a similar manner, including the chairs of the African Union, the Gulf Cooperation Council, and the ASEAN. However, media persons close to the Bangladeshi Prime Minister have been taking objection to the fact that the Bangladeshi Prime Minister has been invited to attend the BRICS summit as the chair of the BIMSTEC and not as the Bangladeshi Prime Minister. And now the same aspect has been reiterated by the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, Khalilur Rahman. Now, while it remains to be seen whether Tarique Rahman would pay a visit to India, given that there is still a month and a half for the BRICS summit scheduled to happen in India in September. The latest meeting between the Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Dinesh Trivedi, and the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Tarique Rahman only shows that behind pleasantries, there is much more that remains to be addressed in the relationship between India and Bangladesh. And we'll keep tracking this major development in India-Bangladesh ties. Reporting from New Delhi, this is Shikha Salaria for India Abroad.